Hey guys, it's Micah from Sapulpa Times coming at you with another special episode with Lily McCully. Hi Lily, I've got it's from the Sapulpa Public Library, and so this is the first time I think you've been in my chair.
It is, yes.
I've been to your place many times as
A
far as the
couple
library.
times. Yeah.
And so Lily is the librarian through and through. Not only are you involved over at the Sapulpa Public Library, you actually have one of those free little libraries outside your
Yes.
house over on Boyd as well,
Yeah.
right? And how has that been going, by the way? I know you're a few
Really
years into
good.
that.
So, yeah, it's time actually for it to get a little bit of a makeover. It's gotten a lot of use, so it's time for a little bit. If you come by, you might notice that it's starting to get worn out, but that's because I don't think we go a day that we don't have people visit it. It is a constant. We give away out of that little free library hundreds of books a year,
That's
and we have so many donations that I've had to put a storage container in my backyard to hold
oh,
the
oh,
excess because we have that many. So if you ever stop by the corner of Fairview and Boyd and go to the little free library and you don't have what we're you're looking for, let me know. I'm pretty responsive on Facebook and I'll see if I can dig it out
okay.
because we have a ton.
Okay, so even if something's not in the little library itself, you might have it in
There is a
storage.
chance we have it in storage, especially the more popular paperbacks for adults. We've got tons and tons of, especially Westerns, and
Ooh,
especially
I'm a big
suspense.
fan of those. I might, yeah, okay, might be paying a visit.
There you go. Yeah, we've got a bunch. I think somebody last week donated three full trash bags of books
Westerns?
that
Or
are Westerns and suspense.
okay, okay, all right. Well, I know what I'm doing after I get done here. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Okay, so let's switch back to your day job for a minute. Um, Specifically, I want to get into like more broad library stuff in a second, but specifically, you're here to talk about the poetry showcase that's coming up
Yes.
on the 25th. So it is really going to be here like just in the next couple of days. I would like to get kind of a rundown from you from, I know you've done this before, but it's
Yes.
been a while. So
So it's been a little different. So when I took over the position of youth librarian, I made the decision not to continue with the poetry contest. That was not met with widespread agreement from the community. So I got a lot of messages saying that people missed the poetry contest and that they wanted it back. So we brought it back this year and opened it up for younger kids. So in the
okay.
past, it has been primarily focused on college aged kids, and we haven't got a lot of entries. There's not a college proper in Sapulpa, and so it makes it a little bit difficult. So we opened it up to technical students as well, and then we opened it up to lower grades, starting with first graders. So a bunch of our entries are actually from much younger kids than they would have been in the past, and we're kind of shifting gears. And so far, it's been met. People have really responded well to it. We got close to 100 submissions, which is a record over the last time. I think we got 12. Um,
Wow. Oh,
so
that's huge.
I'm a little bit behind on my timeline because I was expecting 12 submissions, and that is not the case. And so, because of that, we were able to bring in some really great judges. So, we've got Hachi Chuku was one of our judges, and she's the poetry editor for Nimrod. She's established poet and leads the Nimrod Writing Conference that's in Tulsa, that is huge. We've got Grant Jenkins, who's an expert at TU, who's published several books of poetry, and Stasha Cole, who is a very, very talented graduate student. Her book is forthcoming, as well as Catherine Hellstrom, who leads the writing group that takes place every second Saturday at the library. If you didn't know that, there's a writing group that takes place every second Saturday at the library.
Okay.
Um, that is free and open for people to attend. But because I think of the quality of the judges, because we opened it up to the younger grades, it's been really successful. And this Saturday is just going to be a blast. We've invited everybody who participated to share a poem. We'll also have an open mic. We're going to do some what I call craftivities. Um,
Activities. Okay.
craftivities, not quite craft, not quite activity. We'll have all kinds of different ways that the kids can play with poetry and play with words. The goal is to kind of I think poetry can be quite intimidating for a lot of people,
Yeah.
and to kind of make it accessible and show them the ways that they're already interacting with poetry on a daily basis. I had somebody tell me poetry was dead, and I was like, have you not listened to country music lately?
No. Pretty poetry with guitar.
Right.
And
It's
that's
like
what it,
if you listen to rap, if you listen to country, if you listen to anything that's lyric heavy, you're hearing poetry. So,
sure. Yeah.
one of the games we're going to play on Saturday is pop song or poem and see if just by a line you can tell if it's a classic poem from the top 100 poems on poetry.org or whether it's from the top 100 charts in music.
Wow. Okay. So this is going to be way more than just somebody or some kids
Yeah.
submitting their poems and
No,
just
I cannot sit still for that long. I cannot sit for an hour and a half and listen to and I'm a huge poetry lover. Like
right.
my most loved book, I have a book of the most loved poems of the American people that was published in like 1940, and I've read that thing 1,000 times probably. I love it. Um,
So how is the timing going to work this time since you've gotten so many more submissions? You have you figured out how to tackle that?
So, I brought in some volunteers
Okay.
who helped me manage that. We did an online submission process, which made it a lot easier, and the judges were able to submit their scores online as well. So we used a computer to kind of do some of the calculations, and then one of our Friends of the Library volunteers came in and double checked all the numbers and made sure that everything was assigned correctly.
Okay.
Um, we are formatting our own book, and we will be have that available for sale starting on Saturday. It will not be here yet, unfortunately. We had hoped that to be able to show it off at the poetry showcase,
So it'll be like a pre-sale kind of
but it'll
thing?
be a pre-sale,
Okay.
yes. And all of the proceeds will go to the Friends of the Library, who are the sponsors for all of our events. So all of our events are completely fundraised by Friends of the Library. Um, which of course won the best nonprofit for Creek County last year. We're very proud of
Yeah.
them. And so this is just another, we're going to try and do some fundraising that way, but then all of the winners will get a free copy of the book and be able to see their poem published.
That's awesome. Okay, so just going back over the details for this particular showcase, happening this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 1:30 over at Frank Hall, that's
Yep.
downstairs. And then this is the first annual anthology that'll
Yes.
be available. That's the book you were talking
Right.
about. And then so we've got I would like can you explain like what is blackout poetry for folks?
Blackout poetry. So blackout poetry is really fun. We do it with the teens on occasion, and they have a blast. It's where you take a piece of a book, a piece, and it doesn't have to be a book. It could be a newspaper article, a magazine, whatever.
Mhm.
And rather than write words, you black out with a Sharpie or a marker, whatever, all of the words that you don't want, and then the words that are left over are the poem. People who are artistic, which is not me, often get quite creative. Like one of our teens and one of our volunteers worked together and made one that was like the shape of an owl. And so, like, the eyes of the owl were left unblacked out, and it was a poem about an owl, and then the thing looked like an owl.
Ooh, that's cool.
So it's kind of, it can be as difficult or as easy as you want. I have no artistic skill, so I just go in with a Sharpie.
So this is the free event. Nobody, it doesn't
Free
cost to
event,
get in.
totally free, no cost. There will be refreshments, and yeah, and it will not be a sit down kind of deal. So it is very much targeted at kids and families.
Okay. The only other question I had about this was specifically before we move on to the next thing. If anybody's watching this and they were like, "Oh man, I really wanted to participate," has the line for being able to submit that's already passed, I
Yes, so
imagine?
that has already passed, but I have already gotten approval from our friends. We will be doing it again next year. So
Okay.
hold on to those poems. And you will have another opportunity next March. I think we're going to move it to March because the timeline for summer reading program was a little bit crunched.
Oh, okay.
It was a little bit
Okay.
difficult to do both at the same time, just from my end.
Okay, so if you missed it this year, hang on to that, and they'll have it again for next March. So, but be sure to come out and check out the poems and check out all the students and stuff, and have fun with the craftivities. And kind of speaking of craftivities, that's something the library is famous for.
Oh, yes,
And so I know you had the summer reading program that's going to be coming up quick since we're just about to get out of school next month.
it is.
So talk about what else is happening.
So we're going to kick off with a May mini challenge. So the regular summer reading program doesn't start until June, but we will
Okay.
have registrations will open up at the beginning of May, and we will have those schedules available for you so you can kind of start planning on summer. Um, starting in May, we'll have our mini challenge, which will just be a little paper that has like a bunch of different activities to get the kids outside and to get them playing with books. That is a big goal of mine is to have kids not see books as just something that goes with school, but as an activity that they can do year round. So
Okay.
it'll be a little challenge, 10 little activities for them to do. We'll also have scavenger hunts in the library that'll be updated weekly and a community scavenger hunt as well.
This is all before the May
This is
reading
before. This
program?
is just the
Okay.
lead up.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right.
this is just the getting warmed up. And then starting in summer, again, we'll have weekly scavenger hunts. We have a passport program that we're using this year because our theme is Route 66. So get your books on Route 66 for the centennial. And kids will be able to take their passport books to all of the little storefronts downtown and get a stamp in their passport for an extra chance to win the summer reading program. And then we're challenging them. There's a smaller goal of just 4 books to get their first prize. But if they want the grand prize, we're challenging them to read 66 books this summer for Route 66.
Okay.
Make it
66.
all the way from Chicago to California on their little map. Now, that is optional. They still get a prize if they only read the 4 books, but we are hoping that some of these kids are going to take the challenge and get entered for some grand prizes. We
Okay.
already have businesses who are donating grand prizes. Um, and they're pretty cool. Like they're really cool.
Oh, really?
We're really excited. I just stopped by Isabella's today and she sent me with a full pack of
Oh,
prizes to
awesome.
give out. Just didn't even know I was coming in, right? So the businesses downtown are really getting excited for this, and we're really excited to work with them and promote the reading program. But yes, in June and July, we will have Movement Monday every Monday, which is an exercise story time.
Okay.
So the idea is to get as much energy out as we can while doing books that encourage movement. Um, we have one that's like stomp, wiggle, and clap, and it has something different for the kids to do on every page.
Okay.
And then we'll have our traditional story time every Tuesday. Tuesday afternoons will be for our new teen interns. That will be professional development. So we have a whole program where we're going to try and help the kids learn how to be the best advocates for the causes they care about through the lens of library work, but with the intent that that knowledge will transfer to whatever their passion projects are.
Okay.
And then Wednesdays, we will have a special event. It'll either be a special guest, like we've got the zoo coming, we've got a safari coming. Jiggles the Clown was a huge hit last year, so we're having her back. We're having Cowboy Buck in. We are having um, Cowboy Buck and Elizabeth. Oh, we're having 2 Cowboy Bucks. Very different cowboys, too. One's
Oh, they
named
really
Johnson.
have the same name?
They are the same name. I'm gonna have to check that. But yeah, we have 2 Cowboy Bucks. One is a musical group, which is fantastic, and he's so much fun. And the other one is going to teach us roping.
Oh, that does sound okay. That's awesome.
So it's going to be really fun. And then we've got a lot of Route 66 crafts as well. Like we're going to make our own blue whales and
Okay.
make
Blue Well.
different landmarks crafts. So those will be every Tuesday and Thursday. And then every Saturday we will have adult events and or kid events at the same time. So the only day that we don't have events over the summer is Friday because I have to breathe sometime.
Yeah, I'm prepared for that next week. I'm still, yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Oh, and I almost forgot, Wednesday is going to be Teen Hangout. So we will have special events for teens on Wednesdays with the goal that our interns and our teen volunteers will volunteer for the Wednesday event and then just stay and have their own event where we have crafts and activities and special guests. We've got an artist from Sand Springs is going to come in and teach art classes, and
Okay.
we've got The librarian who started the Books Unbanned project in Brooklyn is going to come zoom in and teach us how talk a little bit about that project. And it apparently was all teen led, which I didn't know until this year. But
Okay.
that is a teen created project which has just exploded globally. And so she's going to talk to them about how she did that and teach them how to make zines. It's it's going to be really exciting teen programs this year. I'm excited to say we have one of the largest teen programs in the state, and it is getting larger. Um,
I was
so
I was gonna say, like, we've been covering your events and stuff for a few years now, and just in the time that we've been doing it, you guys seem to have just such a great community,
yes,
not only of volunteers and stuff, but of folks that actually get involved. Like, you got
yeah.
parents that want to come and do stuff with their kids,
It's gotten
and
so
whatnot.
big that the fire department had to come in and tell me to limit the number of people.
Really?
Yeah, because Bluey, we exceeded capacity, not just for Frank Hall, but for the building.
Goodness.
So we actually had a line of people outside because we couldn't let them in the building because we had so many for our Christmas party. But like what made that was exciting, but I mean it's Bluey, of course.
Yeah, I get
But
that. Yeah.
what really excited me, just in terms of growth, when I started this as the teen librarian, we were still recovering from COVID. So, like, numbers were really low. It was really difficult to get people back in the building. And we
Yeah.
pretty much lost all of our teen volunteers during that time because teens graduate. And so we were kind of starting from the ground up with the teen program. We had a great one, and then,
Yeah, just
COVID.
COVID. Yeah.
Right, and it just threw a wrench in things. But when we started out, I had one teen volunteer, one. And then this last Monday, I had 12 kids show up to volunteer. I didn't force them, I didn't ask them to, I didn't have a big project for them. 12 teenagers chose to spend their afternoon at the library.
That's awesome.
And that makes me so
Yeah.
happy. Like, of all the things they could be doing,
Right. And you're like, okay, now I got to find stuff for you to do. We want to
well,
prepare for that.
fortunately, Anna Mitchell has helped us with that. We are
Okay.
responsible for one section of the Christmas shoot. So we will be doing the cowboy section of the Christmas shoot. And so the teen volunteers have been working on that since January.
Have they? Okay. That's great. Oh man, they're
Yeah.
gonna love it then seeing everybody
Oh,
enjoy
they
that
are
stuff.
so excited. They're like, they cannot wait to see their work at the Christmas shoot in December.
Neither can I. Okay. Well, congratulations on
Thank you.
restoring this great program that you guys have through summer reading and all the other activities and stuff that you guys are doing at the library. Since you mentioned the capacity issue, if people want to get involved with these things, what's the best way to do that? Do they need to register? Things like that.
So, almost all of our events have no registration. We will be having a stained glass artist this summer, and because of the nature of stained glass, people will have to pre-register for that.
Okay.
I will have a link out a few weeks beforehand to let people know, and I believe that that is the Wednesday before the 4th of July. So I'll have the links out for that with the registration so that people can go ahead and register if they want. Um, but yeah, we don't want tons and tons of people around super hot soldering irons and broken glass.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, the rest of the time it's going to kind of be, I would encourage people to come to the library early for the special events and make sure that they get a seat. And then what we are going to try and do, and the emphasis on the try, because we've never had to do this before. And I think that that's in part just because Sapulpa is growing. So we have more people that we need to fit into the 100-year-old building, but
Mhm.
we are going to try and live broadcast in the building so that there will be an overflow. And then we will make sure, like if it's something like petting animals, that the people who are in the overflow are taken in and get to the opportunity to touch everything, all the animals as well.
Okay. Well, that kind of reminded me of a great event you guys did last year with the insects and stuff.
Yes, that was
Are
so
you
much
planning, are you
fun.
able to bring that back? I know that there was some
So
scheduling.
we did not bring them back this year.
Okay.
I plan on bringing them back next year, but this year, in lieu of insects, we're doing a safari.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure what animals they are bringing. I know that they will be bringing several. The guy I talked to said that it depends kind of on the animal's mood that day. But they are all rescued exotics.
Okay.
And they will be available for us to pet. I think possibly a lemur. I'm hoping for the lemur. I personally would really like to pet a lemur.
I think we can make that happen.
That's a dream of mine. I
Sure.
didn't know it until that was a possibility, and then I
It's a
realized that
dream.
it was deep in my heart. I wanted to pet that lemur. So we will be bringing in them, but we try and alternate. So we expect to bring back the insect adventure next year.
Okay.
That's the hope.
Okay. So when is the safari situation happening?
July.
July. Okay.
Yep.
So lots of great stuff headed our way for the summertime, guys. Really excited about this. Lily, thank you again for coming and sitting down. I know this is not going to be the last time that we have you in here. This is going to be great. So, guys, if you're not involved already, get involved with the library. Get your kids over there. Get them involved in the summer reading program. And then, if nothing else, come and check out all the cool stuff that they have to do. I assume Facebook is the best place to keep up with you guys.
Facebook is the best place to keep up with us. We are sharing a RecDex calendar with the Parks Department. So if you look at the Parks Department, you can see all of our events and have uh, and get. They are also on the Parks Department newsletter. So we're working very, very closely with Parks,
Okay.
and that's. I don't want to say a new partnership, but it's new for us to share a calendar with them.
Yeah.
So if you have the Parks Department's website, we will be on that as well. Facebook is where you have the most active updates from us. And and I just want to add and emphasize library cards are free if you live in Creek County, work in Creek County, or have a kid who attends school in Creek County.
Okay.
At least once a day, we have a patron come in and ask how much a library card costs. It does not. It
Does it
does
cost?
not cost.
Okay.
Right. So all of our resources are free. The only thing that we ask you to pay for is if you use the filament for the 3D printer or if you use the vinyl for the Crickets machines in our STEAM lab that you pay for your materials. And that's it.
Okay. Well, I think we're going to have her back on the show here real soon to talk about the Steam Lab
Yes,
because that's
it's
an amazing thing.
amazing.
But the as far as like the poetry showcase and stuff that's happening, literally a couple days from now. So put that in your calendar now if you don't already have it. Be sure to come down and hang out with us and see all the craftivities happening over at the Sapulpa Library. And stay tuned right here at the Time Loop, and we will keep you guys in the loop on what's happening in the town that we love. So thanks again, Lily, for being here.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys at the next episode. Have a great day, everybody. Bye bye.